Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Affirming Reflections live stream. Today's live stream will be featuring a small vigil for the Transgender Day of Remembrance. For those tuning in who have no idea what Transgender Day of Remembrance, you're in luck. I will explain it a little bit. And those who do know what Transgender Day of Remembrance, please feel free to join in as we light some candles and read some names. So the Transgender Day of Remembrance has been observed annually on November 20th as a day to memorialize those who have been murdered as a result of transphobia, anti-transgender hatred, or prejudice. I know today's a few days prior to the 20th, but I figured I'd throw it into my live stream today since it's already been scheduled. There is an event happening on Friday that I will be posting in the comments below for those that want to tune in for that on the official day. Typically, a Transgender Day of Remembrance memorial includes reading of the names of those who lost their lives within the past year. It may also include other actions such as candlelight vigils, dedicated church services, and marches. Over the years, there's been an advancement of intersectional approaches towards the Transgender Day of Remembrance due to transphobic violence also being connected to race, gender, and class. This is reflected in the disproportionate instances of violence against Black and Latina transgender women. Transgender Day Remembrance raises public awareness of hate crimes against transgender people. It publicly mourns and honors the lives of those lost, and gives our allies a chance to step forward with us and stand in vigil, memorializing those who have died. Transgender Day Remembrance was founded in 1999 by transgender advocate Gwendolyn Ann Smith. She did this to memorialize the murder of Rita Hester, who was also a transgender woman. The event is held in November to honor Rita, whose murder was on November 28th in 1998. Which kicked off the Remembering Our Dead Web project, which is where I actually got the names for today from. And it also kicked off a San Francisco candlelight vigil in 1999. Unfortunately, Rita's murder, like most anti-transgender murder cases, it has yet to been solved. Even now, the deaths of those based on anti-gender, transgender murder, and hatred and prejudice are largely ignored. Over the last decade, more than one person per month has died due to transgender-based hate or prejudice, regardless of any other factors in their life. This trend shows no signs of slowing down, with a majority of them being transgender women of color. It is important to understand our privilege within the structures that reinforce this violence, and to use that power to make the changes we want to see. It is our task to move from sympathy today to then responsibility, from compliancy to reflexivity, and eventually from witnessing to action. So join me today in a vigil to memorialize those who've died. I'm going to start off with an indigenous smudge. For those that have smudging materials in their homes, feel free to grab it. We'll also be lighting a candle, so if you have a candle close by or within your home, please feel free to grab that as well. For those that don't know how to smudge, I will explain it to you if you'd like to join me, and if not, then just take this as a moment to pray or a moment of silence. So, I have my smudging candle, or my smudging shell here. I have some sage and sweetgrass in it. And we always use natural sources of light, so matches are usually the best. Let me just make sure some of the stuff just gets lit. So when we smudge, the smoke clears the air around us. When we smudge, we want to bring the smoke towards ourselves. And to do that, we clear our minds of any bad or negative thoughts, so that we may have good thoughts of each other. We smudge our eyes so that we may only see the good in others. We smudge our ears so that we will only listen to the positive things about each other. We smudge our mouth so that we may only speak well of others. And lastly, we smudge our whole being, so our arms, our body, our legs, so that we may be only portraying good parts of ourselves through good actions. This is a great way to start anyone's day. It's just a memory and a chance to stay still and reflect on how we are as humans. For those that have a candle nearby, please feel free to grab it. I have my candle right here. We light these candles in remembrance of those who came before us, those who fought with their lives to give us the rights that we have now. We light this in memory of all who have been murdered due to transphobia. We light this candle as a symbol of community, of identity, of prayer, of love, and of God's presence with us today. May we never forget the names of our transgender siblings, and may they rest in power. I'm going to keep this right here. Right now I will be showing you a 13-minute video. The video is a slideshow of the folks that have been reported to be murdered or who've committed suicide within the last year, who are all transgender. Unfortunately, some of the names are unavailable. It'll say unknown. Sometimes photos are unavailable as well. But as a trigger warning and censor warning for those, it does state how they died, and the date that they died, and where they are living, or where their bodies were found. So if that is triggering for you, please feel free to tune away or tune back later on. But yeah, it's going to be 13 minutes, and it sometimes can be really hard to watch and to see. So feel free to watch if you're okay with that, and we will turn back and we'll listen to a wonderful song that Melissa Gilbo, many of you know her, and she recorded a song for us to listen to as well. So we're going to play this video, and we'll turn back when we do. It is hard and upsetting seeing so many names on the screen and so many faces of lovely and beautiful people just trying to live their lives as their true selves. If you watched, we saw over 400 names that were shown. Unfortunately, this is many more than last year, and unfortunately, far too many are not even reported, and we will never know their names. A lot of folks who are murdered due to transphobia and misogyny and racism, unfortunately, too many of them are not reported, or they're reported and they are not shown to be transgender. And so the 430 names for the year 2019 to now, unfortunately, is probably half, if not a third, of the amount of people that were murdered or violated in some way this year. And many of them we saw tonight were transgender women of color. Unfortunately, almost 200 of the names were from Brazil alone. Our BIPOC trans sisters are most likely to be murdered due to the intersections of gender and race. So please, let's hold them up today. To end off our time, we have a song sang by Melissa Gilbo that's called Flow My Tears, and we'll introduce that right now.
Hi, this is Melissa Gilbo. I'll be singing for you today, Flow My Tears. I believe it speaks of transgender experiences on Transgender Day of Remembrance.
Thank you, Melissa, for such a beautiful and well-sang song. I appreciate all the work that you've done, and we thank you for sharing this today with us. We near the end of our vigil, so if you do have a candle, please grab it. We extinguish our prayer candle because our time together is coming to an end. While this candle becomes extinguished, there are things that cannot be extinguished, such as the community here at Robertson Wesley, our identities as transgender and gender nonconforming people, the prayers that we have for those who lost their lives, the love we share together, the hope we have for the near future and for our generations to come, and to appreciate the everlasting presence of God's love in our lives. Thank you for joining me today for this vigil. It is a very special day for us in the trans community. It's often a very hard day as well. And so, if you do have a trans person in your life, please share with them that you love them. And if you don't, maybe try reaching out to someone at least and share with them that you love them. Thank you for joining me, and we will see you next Monday for the next Affirming Reflections live stream. If you'd like to chat, join us on Thursday at 11 a.m. for the Affirming Coffee Hour. Just email me or send me a Facebook message, and I can definitely give you the links for that. So we'll see you then. Enjoy the rest of your week, and thank you so much. Bye-bye.